basically, I had a small cut on my leg. I thought it was fine, it was just, some healing up. Randomly got a bacterial infection. Like, there's not really anything I could have done, not done, but thought was fine leaving Nashville. Landed in Denver and literally was so sick they had to put me in an ambulance, took me straight to the hospital, went straight to the ICU. That night they were supposed to wait until the next day to kind of put me in surgery and do anything. My blood pressure was dropping so fast, and they had me on 3 blood pressure medications, one of which is the strongest one they can give you. They're like, we got to put you in now. We're kind of concerned about organ failure. So there's never anything that you really want to hear when you're in the hospital. No. But great hospital, great staff, great doctors. They got me in there, got me taken care of, and now I'm fine. But it's just I don't recommend septic shock or a jugular vein IV unless you have to have them. The main thing for me is everything just happened so quick, from being fine to, hey, we're really concerned about you. I didn't really have a lot of time to stop and think about it, which is I guess probably good, because I was freaked out as it was. It's scary. Yeah, I mean, things like that really make you think about, I'm lucky that I'm healthy and here, and getting to go back out on the road and perform, and it's really cool seeing everybody be really concerned. And then, of course, knowing my friends and all the kind of people I hang around with, as soon as they knew I was okay, then they started making fun of me. We're on tour with Brad Paisley, and as soon as Brad knew I was fine, he was like, great to hear your operation for the facelift went so well. So yeah, it's good. So I've gotten a little good-natured jabs from buddies of mine now that they know I'm okay. But it's definitely one of those things that make you stop and go, okay, this is the first show back was probably a little more fun than I usual. Will say, it's like I mistimed it. I should have been sick a couple weeks later and been like, we don't know if he's gonna make it, this is the last record, go buy it. But yeah, it's one of those things where I was okay, I was off the road just long enough, healing up, that it was starting to drive me nuts, and now they're happy to keep me busy talking about the new record AM, and that's coming out September 17th, and doing all the interviews for that. So it's good. The biggest difference between this album and other albums, without going too much into, hey, we mixed it different, hey, the mastering's different, stuff that people are like, we don't care as long as we like how it sounds. There's more tempo, up-tempo songs on this record than any album I've done before. And there was a definite effort to do that from the get-go. I've had hits on the radio with mid-tempos and ballads, but we hadn't really had that one just come out balls to wall up-tempo song, and obviously we led with that off this record, with All in All being the first single, and it's just a bunch of really, really fun songs, and the ballads and mid-tempo stuff's on there too, but that was probably the biggest difference between what I've done in the past and what I did on this album. Really for the foreseeable future, taking me through the end of this year at least, is album launch stuff this month in September, and then we're back out with Brad Paisley for a little while, and that'll kind of run us into Christmas. So I don't know if we've announced or we've all got it all nailed down for next year, but I know there's a bunch of stuff we're looking at that's on the table, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. But we're definitely with Brad for right now. I don't know that I've ever had so many photos of me cropped onto very, very large human beings in very little clothing as many times in one span as I have on tour with Brad. Just about every night when he gets to that line in Alcohol where he's talking about also those naked pictures of you at the beach, I turn around and there's some form of me on a giant screen plastered where thousands and thousands of people can laugh at it. So he's done that. Other than that, he's kind of kept it calm, which makes me a little bit nervous, because he's planning something. So I kind of got him the other night right after I got back out on the road. I had Lee Bryce wheel me out on stage in a wheelchair in my hospital gown. He thought that was pretty funny. He was like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And he's like, good, man. I know a lot of the fans have been really concerned. I was like, yeah. He goes, do you have to sit down the entire time you're playing? And I was like, no, why? He goes, I was really hoping you would. We had super soakers ready to go. So he's a really great guy, and I'm lucky that I've got fans that really, really care. I had so many messages from people just being like, we hope you're okay, get better, take your time, get back on the road when you can, but we're not, we're just worried about you. So That was pretty cool. Usually when I've had album names in the past, it's always like, okay, what creative way am I going to try to come up with that I can talk about this is why we named the album this, other than it just sounded cool. And with AM, you know, from the party songs to, you know, some of the love songs to, you know, one of my favorite songs on the record, a song called Goodbye. And it's talking about, you know, we've got something going on here, and it's at that crossroads moment in a relationship. She shows up at like 11:30 and knocks on the door, and the guy's saying, no, we need to make this work. We're too good for goodbye. And you know, whether it be that or a party song like All in All or the title track, you know, there is a lot of good stuff and like seminal moments in your life that happen after midnight. They happen in the AM. So I figured that was the perfect, you know, album title for this record.
Has that been the case for you? Most your good stuff on AM?
I'm usually I see the part of the AM when like people are waking up. That's when I'm like going to bed. I've been in, you know, Waffle House at like 5 in the morning when people are getting up and going to work, and I'm like, see ya, we just had a good time at the show. So I definitely spend a lot of my time in the AM, whether it be working or just hanging out. So the title works for me pretty good too.